I guess we have to start off saying hi to the girls. They're just wiggling like crazy today. Nathan Cox, thanks for joining us around the home. Okay, today I've got my Ego string trimmer, the one with the Powerload head, and I'm going to replace it with a fresh, brand new one, okay? Alright, now this is the one you guys have seen in many of my videos. I've had it for a few good years now. It's got the carbon fiber pole, and to my knowledge, it's one of the first ones with the Powerload head. My model, specifically, is the AH1520S, and it was manufactured January of 2018. Okay, so it really should be one of the early models of this. Now, I'm putting the new head on to the string trimmer, not because it's broken for me or it stopped loading or anything like that, but because I have a viewer, very specifically, who's had a lot of trouble with her head. And it's just, you can't feed the line in, then get it to suck up. And I know other people have worn their heads out. And when you check on Amazon, when you go to buy this, by the way, I will have Amazon links in the description down below for this and some of the other stuff here. We are Amazon affiliates, so it does help us out. But in some of the comments, it said that it would no longer retract when you push the button. They put the new head on and it fixed it. So I think a lot of people could really use this video. So first things first, I think, is let's take the old head off. Now, normally I would be doing this in my garage, but it's really cold out there. So I'm actually doing this on the downstairs counter, believe it or not. That's why you see the towels. So like in some of my other videos, I'm using a screwdriver to help pop these tabs out. Okay. Let's take this off. All right, now this part here is going to be fun. We're going to take the nut out that's holding it in. So I got a 1/2-inch socket, and you actually just hold on to the inner spool. Okay, that really sucks. Let's find a better way to do that. All right, now if you check the instructions, according to Ego, they said go ahead, put some gloves on, use an impact. So, I know I'm not wearing gloves, but my hands are fairly tough. Let's see if this even works. Okay, this isn't the biggest impact, being a 12 volt. But I also had the crazy idea, I don't think this is the right direction, of using an auto oil filter wrench. Because holding that with your hand just seems silly. Oh, okay, see? That is such a better idea. The oil filter wrench, rather than trying to hold it with your hand. Not all impacts work all that great on things that get really tough. Plus, it's better to put it on by hand. Okay, now I've slid this part off here. There is a washer that was here, and that's about it. We'll compare this to the old one. I want to see if there's been any modifications to the design. Okay, so I've got the washer, the nut, and the spindle part here. We're going to set it to the side. I've still got this here to go. It does have a C-clip right here that's holding it in place. I do have a C-clip remover personally, but I know a lot of people don't. So believe it or not, this kit actually comes with one. I mean, they're a little rough feeling, but it is kind of like a free wrench here. So we're going to open them up a little bit, stick them in the holes, spread it. There we go. All right. Well, they worked pretty decent for a free tool. That was actually pretty nice. All right. A little stiff taking that bottom part out, but she comes out. Okay. Now, if you had junk in here, this now would be the time, obviously, to clean that up. Okay, now let's compare the two, all right? Now, I already did open this up because I had to check something in the instructions to verify. Okay, so we've got the base here that hits the ground, spring's in place. We'll check to see if that spring comes with it. Then we have the spool here where the string actually goes through, and then the part that goes up against the string trimmer itself, including the ball bearing. All right, so we know we've already taken the pliers out. All right, so we've got a small bag here which has a new nut, washer, and the C-clip. Okay. We got some string here. Now, on one of these heads, whether it's this one or the other one, because I'm also going to do a rapid reload video, and you'll see that popping up top right of your screen, if that's the one you want to see as well. and one of them said preloaded. I know someone in the comments got mad and rated it really low because they said it wasn't pre-wound, and that's why I bought this thing, because I hate loading this thing. This thing should be super easy to load, and this is not, you should not look at this as buying like those pre-wound cartridges from like Black & Decker and stuff. Okay, this is expensive and a big process to go through to change. This is only if the head's damaged. Okay, so if you have problems winding it, I have a video that's really good on showing you guys how to load the head. Top right of your screen. Let's just pop the whole thing out. Okay. So down here, all right, so here's the old base, and here's the new base. Okay, bearing looks the same. Okay, so these two pieces, as far as I can see, look identical. All right, let's go ahead and open up the new one. Okay, so we got the green plate here. Okay, all the notches and all the spacings and everything else look identical to me so far. This right here is where I think that there'd be any changes. If there is something not working right. To me it looks identical again. Can't say there's something slightly different on the inside, but as far as I can tell, it looks identical. And then we got the caps here. Okay, except for this one being very dirty. And the spring is here. I thought somewhere it said something about keeping the spring in case, but there is a new spring there. So it comes with 100% new replacement. There's no parts I need to keep from the old one there. Okay, so now we're going to start installing the new one. All right, so we'll start with the black base plate here. There is a notch in the bearing that's going to line up with a notch here on the spindle. Okay. Wiggle that down in place. Now we're going to install the new C-clip. So we're going to open it up enough. Don't go crazy here, because you can stretch these out. Just open it enough to go up and over. I think I got too deep on here, so I can't get it all the way in. There we go. Make sure it clicks. There should be a groove it sits in, so it should click and pop in. That way it can't come out at all. Okay, then we got the green base, which I don't think that there's a spot. I mean, you just got to line up the teeth is all. Okay, now we have the center spindle. All right, so we got this flat side here, and the the shaft is slot. I want to say slotted, flattened on both sides. Just gonna drop that in there. Put the new washer in place. Well, if I can get it in there. All right, there we go. Drop down in place. Our new nut. Let's get it started by hand. It is nylon. You got a nylon insert there to keep it from unwinding itself. Okay. So that means we don't have to crank it crazy tight and crush everything. We just need to snug it up and it'll stay put. I'm going to do this by hand again instead of using the impact. All right. I'm going to go use this wrench one more time. I guess it would help if I put it the right direction. There we go. And I'm just going to snug it up. Like I said, we're not going crazy. Okay. Okay, and now we're going to snap the head back together, lining up these slots here with these two tabs. Okay, now of course, let's go ahead and load it and make sure everything's working right. Now I'm gonna go ahead and reuse this string that I had in there because I got like 8 feet of it still. Some of you are like, well, how long is it supposed to be? Well, 16 foot is the maximum that they say to use to load. And one of the biggest things I always say when we load these is make sure that the end is straight, because it's gonna go in a hole here. You know, that there was, remember where we had the bolt, you know, in the nut? Well, obviously it's not going straight through that, so it's going in, going around that and back out. So when it comes back out, if this is bent, it'll generally get caught on the second hole trying to come through. Okay, so I'm going in and it's popping right out. And it's really, for those of you who spend a half hour or more like in, out, I really pray for you guys that you can figure out what's going on, if you got a defective head or what else. It really should be that easy. This should be the fastest loading weed eater string trimmer head ever. Okay, and not having to use expensive preloaded cartridges. So now I've got I pulled them out so they're both even. Okay, now let's make sure everything is working correctly. I just snapped the battery in because I had the battery out while we're working on it. Okay, and we're going to push the button and see if it works. Voila, we just installed a brand new string trimmer head. Okay, well there we go. We took out this old head and replaced it with a brand new one. So whether yours is stopped working for some reason, or it's just worn out because you hit so much asphalt with it, it's just looking terrible. Either way, the part is easy to find. Amazon shipping is quick. It's pretty easy to switch out. They give you, well, they give you one of the tools you need. I really think that, you know, this oil filter wrench was a lifesaver for making it really easy for swapping it out. And I'll see if I can figure out what size this is exactly and get that in the description as well. I bought this so many years ago and there's not like a size where it says so many inches, but I'll try to figure that out. So I hope this helped you guys out. Please share this video. Please take a moment to subscribe to the channel, hit that bell for notifications, check out our website, and there's another video for you guys to enjoy. Thanks again.